Argy-bargy has started already. Lee Wood on 3 wheels, and this is only the formation lap. So what lies in store with our reshuffled grid that puts one of the talented young chargers, Alex McDowell, on pole position for round 12 of the Dunlop British Touring Car Championship. We'll join Tim Harvey and Ben Edwards.
Thanks, Steve. Well, we've had a Ford win, we've had a Chevrolet win, we now have a Chevrolet on pole position. But is Chevrolet going to make it a second win in the hands of Alex McDowell?
Well, the third race, it's everyone's go, isn't it? Anyone's chances. We've certainly got some quick guys. Alex McDowell's been very good already. Tom Baldwin, now a veteran, starts on the front row, but I don't really think his car is probably quite the match for the Chevy, or even the 888 car of James Nash behind. But the guys who've probably got the best chance are Tom Chilton and Stephen Kane.
Yeah, Stephen Kane's been scoring points reasonably consistently today. Let's take a look at the grid lineup then. Alex McDowell in the Silverline Chevrolet on pole, Tom Baldwin alongside, then James Nash, and Tom Chilton in the LPG car, of course, he's well up. Stephen Kane and Matt Jackson in the 2 Airwaves BMWs are on row 3. On row 4, our winner from earlier on today, Tom Onslow Cole, Matt Neal, and there's Jason Plato on row 5, winner of race 2. Dave Pinkney, he's on that 5th row as well. Lee Wood and Matt Hamilton should be on row 6. But Lee is going to be starting from pit lane, I think. Arthur Forster and Martin Depper are on row 7. Rob Collard and Andrew Jordan on row 8. Andy Neitz and John George are on row number 9. And then as we get down towards the back, it's Martin Johnson, Gordon Shedden, watch out for him from the back, Sean Hollenby, and also Paul O'Neill. They have finally got that gearbox sorted out, I believe. And Paul is actually on his warm-up. Let's see if we can grab a quick word with him. Paul, this is Ben. That gearbox, is it okay now? Are you all right?
Yeah, seems okay. Yeah, the boys have worked hard, and you know, they've just put it back together. We used a bit of John George's gearbox, and she seems like a winner.
Great. Well, let's hope we have a better race this time. So,
yeah, thank you. We'll give it a best go.
Paul O'Neill, as you gathered, Tim, and as you mentioned there, they've actually had to rob parts off the other car, but John's car was too badly damaged to race here.
Yeah, John had a lot of damage on the front of his car and very generously donated the surviving parts of the gearbox to fix Paul's car. I mean, Paul's coming from a long way back, but this is a park circuit you can overtake on, as shown by Rob Collard last year, and Paul he'll be the freshest driver out there, that's for sure.
Now, Lee Wood's going to have to start from pit lane because he wasn't able to get out and join the back of the formation lap. He lost that wheel on the original out lap from the pits, so they've replaced it now. But yes, just look at who he's sponsored by. That's a little unfortunate, but they all have to run the same wheels. It looked like, I don't know what the problem was, maybe it just wasn't tight on the car, or...
Well, the actual nut we saw come off, so clearly it wasn't on tight enough. But, you know, these things happen.
Indeed.
They happened to McLaren in Formula 1, so...
We're all set then for the 3rd race of the day here at Oulton Park with the reverse grid seeing Alex McDowell starting from pole position in the Chevrolet. Round 12 about to get underway. Watch for the lights going out. Away we go, and Alex McDowell trying to put the power down. Tom Boardman smoking the front tyres in his Seat. It's a pretty even front row start though between those two, and it's McDowell who leads from pole position. Watch out for behind, the battle for 3rd. Tom Chilton trying to get around the outside in the Ford Focus. The 2 Airwaves BMWs almost hitting each other and going off onto the dirt there. I think they've survived.
Yeah, Chilton had a very sideways moment but managed to hold it, and he's still diving down the inside of Kane there.
Yeah, thinking, oh, and off goes one of the Forster BMWs. We saw Kane runs wide. So Jackson, I think we're on board. Yeah, that's one of the Forster cars. It is Martin Depper, yeah, the other one. So that's a great shame. All battling their way down through the hairpin. And Alex McDowell busy trying to make the break here up front. They're doing pretty well. Tom Chilton still trying to move up the order as well. We're on board with Chilton as he tries to get past James Nash, and Matt Neal is on his left-hand side here as they come down into Knickerbrook. Oh, just gets through, and we gather the safety cars coming out.
Yeah, not surprised really, but don't forget they haven't got to any safety car boards yet. Watch the marshal's post. They can race until they see a safety car board.
Andrew Jordan's on the grass. He's been given a little bit of help, no doubt, down there on the exit of the corner. Watch out for those safety car boards. But at the moment, Alex McDowell is still flat chat, still pushing on hard.
There they are. There's the board on the right, so they have to stop racing at this point.
So let's tick them off as they come through. Alex McDowell is race leader. Tom Boardman in the black Seat is in 2nd place. James Nash in the 888 Vauxhall. Then Tom Chilton. There is Martin Depper's car. and that didn't last very long, sadly. It was all a bit of jostling through the first corner, as you would expect, and then down towards Cascades, and he just locked up, actually, by the look of it.
Yeah, he was on the inside, I think, just carried too much speed in and locked the brakes up, and then it was a one-way ticket to the barriers.
So that's a great shame for Martin Depper. Now then, let's just having a look down through the order. Some changes on that lap. Stephen Kane ahead of teammate Matt Jackson. They came through in 6th and 7th places. Onslow Cole in 8th place. Rob Collard in 9th. Jason Plater came through in 10th, so he lost out a bit at the start of that race. Paul O'Neill coming from the back up to 15th, so he managed to gain some places. Let's take a look at some of that action. This is on board Tom Chilton.
Yeah, not a bad start. I mean, Bournemouth looked to have too much wheel spin, but he got across in front of Nash. Chilton's down the inside. Now, remember, he went very wide and had a big sideways moment. You'll see it from on board now. He gets inside there, sideways. Whoa! Just manages to hold it. Unfortunately, pulls back on line and doesn't collect anyone else. But he's still determined to keep that inside. Really close to the inside there. Just manages to hold out Stephen Kane on his outside, and he holds the position.
Yeah, that was good stuff between himself and Stephen Kane. But watch what happens then as they go down to the hairpin, because Matt Neal was on the other side. There he is. Matt Neal suddenly appears in view. There's a bit of bumping and boring, and then they were still side by side as they came out of the corner. But of course then Chilton using a bit of LPG power up the hill, but then he's got nowhere to go because Nash is there.
Yeah, but I mean, you can clearly see the speed of that Ford Focus there, because he came out behind Matt Neal and overtook him and caught up with with Nash's car. So it may have a restrictor in it now, but it's still got plenty of top speed.
Absolutely. Well, they're still behind safety car at the moment, and it looks like the lights are still on the safety car, so I think they're going to do at least one more lap before they... There is, just looking further down the pack, we saw Paul O'Neill, and he's up to 15th place, so he's managed to gain quite a few places on that first lap, and a safety car's always useful in these situations. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Paul, you had a good start there, mate. You're up to 15th, the safety car, that's got to help, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, that's always what you're looking for when you're in the situation I'm in. I'm just hoping your man in front, Forster, can not hold me up too much, but yeah, I tried a bit of a move around the outside. Not that crazy teammate of mine, John George, so happy days.
Well done, Paul, keep it up. And sorry, we just lost a bit of sound on there, but we got the message. He's enjoying himself. He's racing, and he's been sitting in the pit lane most of the day, so he's just happy to be out there, I think.
Well, a bigger race enthusiast you won't find than Paul O'Neill, and this is what he lives to do. He absolutely loves it. So I can imagine the frustration of missing out on those first two races. So he's going to make the most of this, and this is just what he needed, another safety car to close the field up, having made a few places up. You know, who knows, there might be another one later on if he's passed a few more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Alex McDowell, the youngster who's up front at the moment, of course, remember it's his first full season of British Touring Cars, comes from the Renault Clio Cup, where he was runner-up in that championship. Qualified very well yesterday, he was 4th fastest in qualifying. We know he's got the pace, Alex McDowell, there's no denying it, but he's 19 years old, he's not used to the sort of pushing and shoving of touring cars, so how's he going to cope? He made a good break in the first attempt.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he knows how to win races. He won races last year in Clios against very tough competition. So he knows how to lead, he knows how to win, but clearly the thought of your first touring car win is going to prey on your mind. You know, he needs to keep focused and keep concentrated. First thing he needs to do is get this restart right.
Yeah, well, he's weaving around plenty to keep the tyres up to temperature. Getting ready for the restart, and off goes Alex McDowell, and that was pretty well judged by the look of it. He's actually made a little bit of a break from Tom Boardman, who is used to this kind of thing from World Touring Cars, as well as his British Touring Car experience of years ago. Look at the battle for third. Tom Chilton on the attack, but no, in the wrong place to go past James Nash. He's being followed by Matt Neal. Tom Onslow Cole there, and he's got past Matt Jackson. That was a good restart. And in fact, Jackson might lose another place here to Rob Collard. So that really is a bit of a disastrous restart for Matt Jackson. Meanwhile, Stephen Kane and Matt Neal is that going wheel to wheel as well.
Yeah, Matt Neal with a black sunscreen on his visor, on his windscreen. That's him and Kane giving each other good racing room through Cascades. But they're running a little bit wide there, both of them.
Yeah, Matt Neal just sneaks in front once again in the Honda. We're looking back from Tom Chilton's car. This is the battle for 5th you're looking at. And they're side by side as they head down towards Knickerbrook. Matt Neal on the inside. Meanwhile, there's more, and that's the leader. That was McDowell who went straight on.
Yeah, and he wasn't in the lead at all. Boardman was actually in front of him when that happened, so I don't know what happened there.
That's
he's broken a steering arm or track rock. Can you see that hanging down? Yeah, could well be a drive shaft. Yeah, that must have broken on the way down to Knickerbrook, so he pulled off and went straight on, but not a good place to park the car there.
Arthur Forster now off the road. He was the car in front of Paul O'Neill that he was hoping to get past quickly. Well, Arthur maybe have let him, but up front now is Tom Boardman. And look at this battle for second. Tom Chilton trying to get past James Nash. Nash will hold on fiercely on the inside, but right behind both of them is Matt Neal. Safety car is going to be coming back out on track, we gather, and that will maybe gather. Yep, safety car boards are out. And again, they all have to settle down.
Yeah, I mean, that was clearly a drive shaft, I think, hanging down. We saw it earlier with Gordon Shedden's car, and I commented then about the curbs being quite severe here. And that obviously broke on poor Alex's car, and he had a good lead on the run down from the island hairpin to Knickerbrook, but he's ended up stuck in the gravel, and obviously with drive to only one wheel, he didn't have a lot of options there, but safety car required.
Yeah, well, they'll have to try and get that car out of the way, but really unfortunate, and he was doing so well on that initial start. Let's see if we get any kind of view here. No, he was already slowing down, as you say, Tim. He was already slowing, and then, yeah, he just decided, as you said, it had already broken, nothing he could do about that, and he had to pull off to the side of the track. So, drama, we've got the safety car back out on circuit at the moment. Rejoin us after the break. Welcome back to Oulton Park, race 3 underway, but we're under safety car conditions at the moment. Tom Boardman is our race leader in the black Seat with the Union flag on the roof there, and the team must be feeling a little nervous but excited at the moment because they're up front and a good chance here, but behind there are some quick cars, Tim, because you've got James Nash in the 888 Vectrum and then Tom Chilton, and we know that Focus is fast.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Tom's a very experienced driver now, but he can only do as much as he can do in that car, and we've seen the speed of the Focuses already this weekend, so you'd have to think that Tom Chilton would be in a position to do something. There's poor Alex McDowell, very disappointed. Is, you know, good opportunity there starting off the front, but no, I do think that Chilton should have the ability to get through here. This should be the last lap, I think. I did see Alex McDowell's cars move, so this should be the last lap.
Okay, so hopefully the lights will be out on the safety car next this time around. Looking back from Chilton and Matt Neal, who's running in 4th place at the moment. He's had a pretty good score in terms of points so far, but the biggest scorer so far has been Tom Onslow-Cole. He had a win in the first race, 3rd in the second race, and Onslow-Cole currently running in 6th place, so could end up being the biggest points scorer today. So we'll have to wait and see on that one towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's no honour amongst these, is there? Paul O'Neill complaining to his team that Gordon Shedden's rear brake lights don't work, and obviously hoping to have him black and orange flagged for that. And their teammates on the Honda Question of Motorsport, so clearly no love lost there. Lights are out.
Yeah, lights out on the safety car. Tom Boardman just bringing them around through Druids, and then James Nash and Tom Chilton. Matt Neal's looking threatening though in that Honda, so definitely keep an eye on the 4th placed car, the white and red Honda Civic of Matt Neal. He's ideally placed. And where's Jason Plato, you might be asking? Well, he's down in 9th position, so he's got some work to do. Here we go then, ready for another restart in this final race of the day. Safety car heads back in, and Tom Boardman it is now who leads them across the line. James Nash and Tom Chilton follow, and Matt Neal didn't get a very good restart. Having said, look out for him, and if anything, you've got to watch that battle for second. Again, Tom Chilton has a little look down the outside. You're on board with Chilton. Nash really hopping the curb there, and this could give Chilton a chance.
Yeah, but he's going to be on the wrong side for Cascades. Is he going to get... Yes, he is. He's got cleanly through again. Power of that Focus just pulling him past Nash.
That's pretty amazing. So Chilton now up into 2nd place, and the LPG cars could be on for another victory here, but they've got to chase down race leader Tom Boardman. Boardman goes very deep into the hairpin. Did he mean to go that deep? I'm not sure.
No, it seems to be his line. He hooks up an apex and has a good exit from it, but if Chilton gets up behind him, it's going to be tough, because that Seat's the original petrol engine Seat Leon, and it's not the quickest car in a straight line.
No, that's right. Quick round the corners, great handling car, but not the most powerful, so that could be difficult up against the LPG-powered turbocharged Ford Focus. Watching the rest of the field come through the Knickerbrook chicane, climbing up Clay Hill now, and Boardman ahead of Tom Chilton, James Nash, Matt Neal, Stephen Kane still up there. Tom Onslow-Cole looking to score more points today as they come through the hairpin, not the hair, but the long right-hander that leads up towards the tight right-hander at Lodge Corner. And looking around all over the place, Tom Chilton and Tom Boardman really having to defend now as that straight line speed advantage of the Focus. Not quite able to do anything with it there, Tom Chilton, but he's going to keep on pushing, and now he's got a chance of getting the overlap.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get it here. He might do.
Yeah, I think he has. He's down the inside. He's made it look easy. He's through into the lead.
That was a huge advantage because he didn't have a particularly good exit from Lodge, but I expected him to be just about creeping into the baking area, and he was clearly past.
Whoa, he's lost it! My goodness! Tom Chilton so nearly loses it. He gets it back, but he's lost 1, 2, 3 places, and suddenly the race is wide open again.
Well, that really changes it. I mean, that looked like a cold right rear tyre, but he shouldn't really be cold at this stage of the race, clearly, and must have just carried a bit too much speed in there.
My goodness, that's not a mistake you see too often from Tom Chilton, but look at this. This is opening things up for Matt Neal now. Matt Neal in third place, trying to get past James Nash. A little lock up of brakes, but it's all but Tom Boardman back in front in the Seat, and he's loving it, enjoying it. On board with Matt Neal here, sitting in third place behind the two black cars and trying not to use that curb too much, because that's what caused his teammate Gordon Shedden a problem earlier.
Yeah, James Nash now probably sensing an opportunity to get into the lead. If he could get past Boardman, he might be able to stretch it out a little bit while the others might. Oh, good run through Druids there for Matt Neal, and we know he likes to overtake at Lodge.
Yeah, but can he find the space? Nash covers the inside straight away, and still Matt Neal can't find a way through. And this is all allowing Tom Boardman to just make a little bit of a break. We're at just about the half-distance point here, and Matt Neal still looking for a way past, but Chilton's coming back at them.
Yeah, and Chilton again using that advantage to draw alongside. That's going to make Matt's life very difficult as he tries to challenge behind Nash, but also defend from Chilton.
This is all very tight. Look at all the cars together. You've got Plato in 9th place, Shedden in 10th, and they're all still part of this group of cars, so it could be anybody's race at all. Up front, Tom Boardman, Nash almost on the grass in his defensive attempts here. Look at it.
He was on the grass. He's kicking up the roost. Oh, is he braked too late?
Little tap. Oh, and he's through, is he? Yes, Matt Neal is through. Matt Neal gets past James Nash, and that's partly Nash's mistake, and then Matt Neal taking full advantage. Oh, and Chilton on the grass now.
Yeah, side by side. Oh, what's going to happen here?
It's not going to work, surely. No, they can't all get round, but somehow they just about find position.
Stephen Kane just managed to get through there.
Yeah.
In fairness, Tom Chilton did give him room, and they literally tippy-toed through there, side by side.
Plato's at the back. Oh, look at that. Shedden was on the grass as well, battling with Collard, I believe it is, still in that group as well. And Plato looked like the blue car on the inside, and he's managed to nip through. Oh, on board with O'Neill now, and he's got to run on Collard as well. So Paul O'Neill's going to gain another position, all changing. This might bring him into the top 10 from the back of the grid now. Paul O'Neill gaining another place if he can squeeze past. Andrew Jordan's trying to get through as well, and he's just taken a marker post out.
We won't worry about that. This is one of those typical third race reverse grid fights for every position.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Great racing through the first corner. Tom Boardman still leading this race. Matt Neal in second, James Nash in third. Then it's Stephen Kane, Tom Chilton there in the Aon car, who made that mistake. He got in front, but made the mistake through that left-hander. Behind him now is his own teammate, Tom Onslow-Cole. Matt Jackson's in there as well. So here we go. Stephen Kane under pressure from the Ford of Tom Chilton, looking for the quick exit here. And at the back of that group, the other Airways BMW of Matt Jackson.
Yeah, very close fight here. Matt Neal will want to really get his head down, try and catch up with Boardman. He knows Plato's... Oh, Jordan parked in a very unconventional place there.
Yeah, that's unusual. That's on the exit of the hairpin.
Yeah, he must have been turned around there, and it's backed him into the wall.
Oh, they've had a horrible day with that car, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. Tom Boardman with Matt Neal and James Nash still close behind. Lots of action in this third race. It really has gone a bit crazy, isn't it? But we've got a race to watch, because at the moment Boardman's advantage under a second over Matt Neal, and you've got to favour the Civic in second place over the Seat, which is a trusted car, but it's not the fastest out there, that's for sure. Tom Chilton still trying to get past Stephen Kane in the BMW. Still no way through. Onslow-Cole, meanwhile, defending from Jackson, and then Plato and Paul O'Neill next up. Paul O'Neill looks as though he might have a go at getting past Jason Plato in a moment.
fastest lap to Gordon Shen, in fact, on lap 9. So he's got some pace, but it's indicative that the leaders really aren't lapping that quickly.
Plato, of course, carrying lots of ballast in this race, so it's not so easy for him to put in the sort of lap times we saw earlier on. Back with the race leaders here, and Tom Boorman still defending manfully from Matt Neal, who's going to have a little look as he outside, inside, no space. Boorman defends it very well, gets the braking judged perfectly, and gets a good exit out of the corner. And the Seat, he quickly gets back over to the right, passing the stricken car of Andy Jordan, and makes sure that there's no run for Matt Neal. James Nash still holding on well in 3rd place, and just for a moment things getting a bit more of a rhythm. We're on lap 12 out of 18. The race extended due to the safety car being out there.
Yeah, Matt Neal timed that sort of move a couple of laps before on Nash to perfection. He could see the group bunching up behind him, so he knew he had to press on past Nash, and just gave him a little rub as he outbraked himself into the island and put himself clear of danger, if you like, and now he's being a little bit more patient with Tom Boorman. Oh, very quick through Druys, but if he comes under pressure, you'll expect to see Matt be a little bit more physical.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe just waiting his time to get away, as you say, from the others behind. And just tucks in behind. Lovely view there as they come through Lodge. Down the dip, up Deers Leap the other side there, clipping the white line. Back over goes Boorman, past the pits, past the messages that tell him he's still in front at the moment. But can he stay in front of double former champion Matt Neal, who is very much putting himself in the title hunt for this year? And in fact, if you think about the championship points just a second, Matt Neal is on target here to reclaim the championship lead. He sits 2nd at the moment. Meanwhile, Jason Plato's down in 8th, so Matt Neal could well take the championship lead back once again here as they head down towards the hairpin. James Nash in 3rd place. Look up there from Stephen Kane. Doesn't affect anything. Tom Chilton still tucked in there, and Onslow Cole still heading to be the top point scorer of the day.
Well, full marks to Tom Boorman. He's absolutely driving the wheels off that special tuning Seat. He really is driving it well. He's taking the lines to maximise his exit speed wherever possible when he doesn't have to defend, and really using every inch and more of road.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Very, very impressive. Paul O'Neill currently up to 9th place. You've got the Plato Chevrolet just up ahead there, so Plato not able to make much progress from 8th place currently, tucked in behind Matt Jackson in the BMW. And Paul O'Neill here, well, he'll be pleased to be in that top 10, but what the day could have given if only he hadn't had all those gearbox problems, well, he'll have to think about that another time. Boorman continues to lead. Matt Neal in 2nd place. James Nash in 3rd position. Up across the line, they'll go on to lap 14 out of 18. Can Tom Boorman hold off Matt Neal? Can he fend him off? There's still a long way to go in this race, but Boorman so far driving absolutely wheel perfect. That's fine. Well, I say fine. You normally run a bit wide, you just don't want to hit that pothole.
Yeah, we'll have to call it Boardman's Trench soon, won't we, if he keeps up digging it up. But don't forget, Matt Neal is carrying 36 kilos of weight, having finished 2nd in the last race, so he does have that working against him.
Yeah, that's a good point. It'll hurt him under braking as well. Here, look at Boorman's car, weaving under braking, but he's clever because he still gets the car turned in. Stephen Kane, meanwhile, almost getting a chance on Nash for 3rd. No, Nash quickly gets across to the inside. That is where you often see contact, and presumably something like that happened to Andrew Jordan, but we don't know who it was involving. And look how tight this whole group of 5, maybe 6 cars is now. Little gap back to Jackson, Plato, O'Neill and Collard, but that lead group is mighty tight.
Yeah, and you can bet that's inside the Special Tuning Club Seat garage, isn't it? The anxious looks there. But it's all closing up a little bit at the front, which may force Matt to be a bit more physical. I think he'd actually quite happily take 2nd place points-wise, but he may be forced to push on a little bit more as the others catch up behind him.
Yeah, now watch for Matt Neal going for the late lunge here at Lodge Corner. It's one of his favourites. He's doing it. He's down the inside, and through he goes and takes the lead. Matt Neal takes the lead. Boorman in 2nd. James Nash almost followed him through.
Yeah, well, we can see that one coming, couldn't we? As the pack caught up behind him and Boorman didn't defend. Matt was always going to have a lunge, and now Boorman's defending it to allow Matt to get away.
Look how quickly he got away just through one corner there, because Tom Boorman is busy trying to keep everybody behind him. Perfectly justified, of course, and in fact that's changed the order behind. Kane has gone past Nash So the Airways BMW's gained one as a result.
Yeah, good opportunist driving. Stephen Kane's been driving really well this year in the motor-based BMW. Got stood down from the team for a year last year, but has come back a new man.
Yeah, it's tight. I wondered if he was going to get a shove there from Nash, but Bournemout's
got a problem.
Broken the car.
He's got a broken front wheel, well, broken front steering arm, I think. But I don't think that. I mean, that is on the inside of the car where Matt Neal passed, but I don't think there was any contact there.
No, if it was, it would have been very light contact. So it's surprising. Oh, what a disappointment for the Club Seat guys, for the special tuning Seat. And Tom looked as though he was on for a podium at least, if not the race victory. He drives the truck as well, you know, but he'll be a bit downhearted driving the truck home tonight.
Lonely drive home, won't it, with lots to contemplate on. But all that's put Matt Neal as a champion on the track and a champion of patience and timing and racecraft, really, you have to say, in touring cars. All that experience, you know when to push and when to wait.
Yeah, no, he's showing all the skills and the elements that have taken him to those titles in the past. He's back with his dad's team, and somehow it's just all gelling beautifully after his time at Vauxhall didn't work so well. Meanwhile, Plato is trying to get past Matt Jackson, and Plato has got the inside line here. I don't think there's much Jackson can do. Remember, these two have hit each other already twice today, but they get through this time without colliding with each other.
Yeah, good move by Plato. Obviously got a good run out of Lodge, and he's moving forward. He, of course, has got full ballast on, so he's driving the wheels off that.
Yeah, now I wonder if Matt Jackson will give him a little love tap down into the hairpin or not. That's where Plato did it to him in the second race of the day. Meanwhile, Paul O'Neill and Collard are behind. Collard's trying to get past O'Neill there, and those two ahead of him are so busy fighting that actually this might allow Paul O'Neill to have some fun with it as well. And Jackson hasn't given up on getting the place back, has he, from Jason Plato down to Knickerbrook. It's only really one line through here. Very difficult to try and go in side by side, so they slot in behind one another and then climb back up the hill. And Plato kicking up a lot of dust, so does Jackson. Oh, and that might give Paul O'Neill a chance.
Yeah, he didn't lose much traction on the dry grass and dry dusty bit, did he? But kept his foot well and truly buried.
So this is Plato, so running in 6th place now. So he's gained some points, there's no doubt about it. But up front, Matt Neal still leading. Stephen Kane going well in 2nd place. Then Nash, then the two Fords still looking to pick up useful points. Chilton in 4th place, Onslow Cole in 5th position. Plato now in 6th, so he has sort of dug himself out of a bit of a hole by getting past Jackson. And then O'Neill comes through in 8th place, Collard 9th, and Andy Neate is in the points as well, so good effort from Andy Neate. He's running in 10th place. Yeah,
and interesting now, though, the front two have had a clear lap to look at their relative pace, and Kane at 21 minute 28.6 and Matt Neal at 1:29.2, so 0.6 of a second quicker there, a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So look at this. The battle for the lead is definitely on now, because Matt Neal, as you say, not quite as quick as the BMW, but we've only got this and one more lap to go. So Stephen Kane, who took his first win earlier on this year, remember, at Thruxton, that was a race 3 victory, absolutely on the charge here to try and find a way past Matt Neal. And these two have made a break, so he doesn't have to watch his mirrors too much. He's just got to focus on finding a way through.
Yeah, and it's the end of the race, so Matt Neal's tyres will probably be in worse condition. He's got 36 kilos of ballast on. Stephen Kane only 9 kilos, and probably better tyres as the BMW looks after them slightly better. So you'd have to say he should have the faster car, when he clearly has from the lap time.
But can he turn it into a winning advantage? That's the question. Stephen Kane will look for a chance perhaps here. He's having a little think, but no, Matt Neal covers that. Now, Matt Neal had to go in very tight. Stephen Kane, this is where Matt Neal's so clever. He can go in tight and yet still come out of the corner quickly and frustrate the guy behind him. On to the last lap though, and Stephen Kane is definitely having a go.
Yeah, he's really has. Oh, trying to cut back and rubbing the bumper there on Matt Neal. Certainly putting in. He's got no pressure from behind Stephen, so he can really hassle him, but there are very few places to pass.
But we've got one of those places coming up. It's down towards the hairpin, which is the next corner. Is he close? Well, not really. Didn't have quite the run through Cascades he would have wanted.
No, lost out of the previous corner, wasn't close enough, and through that corner, locking up, he's braking ever so late.
little bit of a nudge. We're hearing Paul O'Neill reporting to his crew he's got no brakes left. He always said to him this is a hard track on brakes. I wonder if that might affect these two as well.
Well, it could be affecting Matt Neal, but because he uses the brakes very, very hard, but always has done. The team know that, and they will have built the car to make it last, I'm sure.
Matt Neal holding off at the moment, keeping Stephen Kane behind him, but we've just got the final part of this lap to go. Up the hill they come. James Nash is in a superb third place, and he will be very pleased with that if he can hold on to it. But who's going to take the victory? Is it going to be Matt Neal, or will Stephen Kane find some way of getting past on this last lap? It's not looking likely.
No, it's not. Matt Neal's done that corner, Druids, very well all through the race. He only has to go middle of the road here just to close it down. Kane breaks incredibly late. There's a tiny bit of contact, but Matt Neal's going to get to the line first.
Matt Neal climbs out of the final corner and he wins race 3 here at Oulton Park. Fantastic. Second place goes to Stephen Kane. James Nash a superb third. Chilton finishes 4th. Onslow Cole in 5th. Plato then followed by Jackson Collard, Neat and Paul O'Neill. What a race that was. Looking on board with Matt Neal. Beautifully driven race from the double former champion, and he managed to fend off that fast BMW to the line there. And for Honda Racing, that is a really, really important victory. That is, of course, Matt's 3rd win of the season, and it will put him back on top of the championship table as well. And what a time to do it. We're over the 1/3 distance in the championship, and Matt Neal will go to Croft in a couple of weeks, knowing he's now in that position at the top of the standings. It's not quite a commanding lead, because Jason Plato still managed to get up there and finish in 6th place, but it definitely looks as though this season is turning into that great rivalry once again between Jason Plato and Matt Neal, and that certainly means we're going to be in for some fireworks as we go through the rest of the season. Great drive from Stephen Kane to take that 2nd place for Airways BMW. Now that's interesting, Andy Jordan, we didn't see who he tangled with, but didn't quite see who that was he was waving at then, but he obviously felt that he was taken off by somebody, and it is the sort of corner where if someone moves over on someone else at the wrong moment, that's exactly what happens. A rather strange place to park, but we didn't quite see who it was. We'll have to wait and find out afterwards. So Matt Neal's victory there, and for Honda as well. Honda have got a remarkable record here at Oulton Park. They've won at least one race here for the last 6 years, and that now extends to 7 years. So Honda seem to have an affinity for this Parkland track. And what a wonderful track it is, and we've enjoyed a fantastic crowd as well to see some brilliant racing in that 3rd race. Absolutely wonderful stuff. James Nash in 3rd place, that matches his best ever result. Remember, he had a 3rd at Silverstone last year, and also had a win on the road, but of course had that taken away from him, so it's still matching his best. We gather it was Andy Neat, perhaps, that Andrew Jordan was rather sort of gesticulating at. Meanwhile, there's poor Tom Boorman, and let's spare a thought for him, because he drove beautifully in the early laps there. Held the lead, then dropped back to 2nd, and then something broke on the front when he was busy defending that 2nd place. But definitely one of the stars of the show today as well, and it's just disappointing that he's not been able to come home with some points to add to his tally. And talking of points, by the way, damage to Andy Neat's car, so we think that could well have been with Andy Jordan. But talking of points, I think, and this is very unofficial, that Tom Onslow Cole will have scored the most points today, looking at the order. Matt Neal would have got to something like 32 points, but I think Tom Onslow Cole, finishing in 5th place in that race, will have picked up another 6 points. So I think he will just have had the highest score. That's Sean Hollenby's car off as well at the side. That looks like broken front steering as well. And that will mean that Tom Onslow Cole will receive this one-off trophy in memory of Cliff Johnson, of course, Martin Johnson's father, who passed away very suddenly last week. And Tom Onslow Cole, that will be very touching moments for him, I'm sure, to receive that very special trophy as the big point scorer of the day. So let's just confirm the result there of the 3rd race of the day. Matt Neal taking victory by 0.2 of a second from Stephen Kane. James Nash an excellent 3rd. Tom Chilton and Tom Onslow Cole, the 2 Team Aon cars, in 4th and 5th. Jason Plato in 6th ahead of Matt Jackson. Rob Collard, Andy Neat in the points, and Paul O'Neill from the back finishing 10th. Gordon Shedden outside the points in 11th ahead of Dave Pinkney, Lee Wood, Matt Hamilton and Martin Johnston. Arthur Foster finished a lap down, and we saw problems for Sean Hollenby, Tom Boorman, Andrew Jordan, and unfortunately for early race leader Alex McDowell. And this is what it means in terms of the championship. Look at that, Matt Neal back ahead again. They came in tied. Jason took the lead briefly, but now it's Matt Neal who leads by 8 points. Stephen Kane, though, is still absolutely in that hunt in the Airwaves car after a superb second place. Onslow Cole is in fourth, ahead of Matt Jackson. Gordon Shedden, Paul O'Neill, then Rob Collard, Tom Chilton, and amazingly Giovanardi still in the top 10, and he only did the first meeting.
Matt Neal chuckling to himself as he pulled the car up in the winner's position here. He just said to me, now that is what I'm talking about. That victory means a lot to you, doesn't it?
I just didn't think it was on today, especially in race 3 with the weight and JP alongside me and everything going that way, and over the moon. The car was absolutely mint, start to finish. That's what won the race.
Listen, grab your helmet off while I ask you the next question, which was basically, it didn't come easy. I mean, you really had to work for that victory, didn't you?
I feel like I've had to work all day, but little Honda Civic was a baby. I mean, I'd had 2 atrocious starts today, so it owed me one, and we got a blinder, and that's, once you got the good start, you know, I was in sort of a bit of clear air, and I was able to sort of have a look at people instead of being it all coming around you, but God, yeah.
Just talk us through the last few corners on that final lap, because young Stephen over there was looming large in your mirrors, wasn't he?
Those Beamers do come on strong in the second half of the race, don't they? And Kaney was trying. He was, first I thought when I got past and I saw the gap, I thought I could manage it no problem. And I was talking to the pits and I said, you know, can you keep me up to speed? And they were keeping me up to speed, but I could visually see it in the mirror, and then I thought it shouldn't be a problem, and then I started trying to press on a bit in mine. It's just, with the weight and everything, it just had its best of the tyres and everything. We'd used everything to its max, and I must admit, I did get a bit twitchy on the last lap. I thought he was going to, well, he got alongside me a few times. He just like a squirrel up a drain pipe, you were.
Well done, a great result for you. I mean, I could tell from your celebrations with the team when you parked the car, you're very, very happy with that one.
Yeah, you know, the weekend started off, we struggled a little bit, but, you know, it's a great team effort to get me up on the podium again. I've been on the podium every round now, so, you know, I can't ask for more. I just love it. I love this place, and when you're dialed in and you're going well, and you're racing the likes of this guy and, you know, giving them a wee nudge now and again, it's a great feeling.
You could smell that victory almost, couldn't you?
Yes, we just, the front tyres, I was locking up the front tyres, and, you know, the only way I could get past was actually head them out of the road, but that's not my style, so, you know, hopefully, you know.
I was smelling your victory as well.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great race, and, you know, that's what racing's all about in BTCC is, you know, this is what the fans want to see. So, you know, it's a pity we got second, but we'll get them sometime in the year.
Listen, well done to the pair of you. Well done to you as well. Great result for you. You're very, very happy with that one, aren't you?
Yeah, it's great that, you know, the team have worked hard. We've really struggled around here with power. So it's an effort to keep these two behind for a little while. But we've had a bit of luck with some of them going off, so it's played into my hands, and it's nice to be up there. Just
talk us through the move that man Matt pulled on you.
Oh, there's so many things going on. I don't really remember it. Whatever he did, it was clean anyway, so it was that much quicker. It was a case of trying to not hold myself up too much, because the pack behind were pretty quick.
What does this result mean to you and to the team as well?
Well, it's nice to be back up there. Last year we had a win that was taken away from us in a podium, and it's taken a bit of time to get dialed back in. We had a long break, so it means a lot to me, and I'm sure it does the team as well. I'm sure they're really pleased.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers,
back to you, Steve.
Yes, and no wonder Matt Neal is wearing a huge smile here at Oulton Park this evening. Let's confirm once again that he's back on top of the British Touring Car Championship table. An 8-point lead over Jason Plato, another race winner here today. Stephen Kane into third, ahead of Tom Onslow Cole, who won our opening race this afternoon. Then Matt Jackson, Gordon Shedden and Paul O'Neill, who at last saw some track action in that final race this afternoon. And the other competitions, in the teams event, it's Airwaves BMW with a 3-point lead over Honda. Team Aon third, just edging out Silverline Chevrolet into fourth. And the manufacturer standings as we leave Oulton Park: Honda ahead of Ford, a 5-point lead with Chevrolet in third. So that's the Touring Car Championship here at Oulton Park. We still have got time for one more live race. The Porsches are out on the grid at the moment. Join us for live coverage of the Porsche Carrera Cup right after the break. All set for the last race of a busy afternoon at Oulton Park, the second outing for the Porsche Carrera Cup entrance. Tim Harvey has made it from the cockpit, into the cockpit from the commentary box, but he's having to wait patiently along with everyone else because the clearing up is still going on around this Oulton Park circuit from that eventful touring car race of a few minutes ago. In the meantime, let's hear a bit more from Louise. No, Louise... we're still waiting to hear from Louise. She's going to line up a little bit more reaction to that eventful touring car race we had a few minutes ago that saw victory for Matt Neal, a victory that put him back on top of the British Touring Car Championship table. But a lot of sorry stories around this Oulton Park circuit, and a lot of recovery work still needed to be done before the Porsche Carrera Cup can get underway. And of course they've got a little bit of a deadline to meet here at Oulton Park as well. No racing beyond 6:30 this evening. We will be on to see exactly what happens on the circuit over the course of the next 20 minutes or so. Now Louise is down there somewhere, and I think it's got Rob Collard with her.
Yeah, I have. Just talk us through that last race with you, Rob.
It was a very nice race, you know, coming from the back from 16th from the grid. We came through to, I think, P8. It was quite hectic with the safety cars, but yeah, there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on out there, and you can see a lot of things going off in front, kicking off in front. But, you know, very pleased to bring the HM Plant car home in 8th, and we scored some points after the disaster in race 2.
We've seen pushing and shoving in all of the races today, haven't we? Too much, or about what you'd expect?
No, I think at the moment there's a bit too much contact, and you know, I think the series organisers need to have a look at some of the deliberate contact that's going on. I got took out of a very strong position in race 2, and it's ruined my day.
We've seen a BMW finish up on the podium today. This was a track where the BMs were always expected to go well, wasn't it?
Yes, you know, this was our best chance today of doing really well, and I'm disappointed to come away with the little amount of points we have. You know, a podium's fantastic for the team, but it's not good enough in my eyes. Okie
dokie. Let's we've got Matt Jackson here as well. Just talk us through that race from your perspective, Matt.
What a tough one. I think I just said to the boys, it's one of those races where luck sometimes looks on your side, sometimes it's against you, and everywhere we put the car, it was we were down the wrong road. It was a dead end, and it made it frustrating. But it was a tough race. We made some changes on the car, and it changed the car a lot. It's big oversteer, which really cost us in the race. But it's for Stephen and the Airwaves team. It's a great job for everybody involved. Money Shop, you know, Leyland Paints and Airwaves. It's a good result.
Very close racing out there today, particularly in that last race, I thought.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was kind of sat there hoping they're all going to wipe each other out, because from where I was sat, it looked exactly what was going to happen. But unfortunately, they behaved themselves for a change.
Let's have a final word with Tom Chilton here. Bit of a frustrating weekend for you.
It is. I mean, the last race just showed it all. I started 4th, and I fought through the field to get up to 1st for a little bit. And then, you know, we're racing. We're pushing as hard as we possibly can. I braked and went down from 6th to 4th gear, and I turned the wheels slowly. And for some reason, out of the blue, I can't tell you why, I got a snap oversteer. And that was it. I lost a lot of places, managed to get back up to 4th, but you know, I've got a 4th, a 5th, a 6th this weekend. That's pretty good in terms of points. I've got a lot of points, and I got a point for lead in the race. But to be honest, I should have got a lot more. My teammate has just picked up the trophy for the most amount of points. Won today. He got a 1st, a 3rd, and a 5th. So I'm kind of gutted about it, but you know, that's racing.
I know your teammate is obviously the man that you're always going to be measured against. He's the guy in the same car as you, but similarly, you're always pleased to see him do well, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, I said it when I had the old live commentary in my helmet in the first race. I said, you know, I'm back here in 5th, but I can see my teammate leading. I'm egging him on. You know, it's great. It's great that he won a race with Team A on, and it lifts all the boys, and we're going to keep working hard at it.
OK, lovely. We look forward to seeing you in Croft. And I think, meanwhile, I can hear some engines firing up ready for the Porsche race.